Тоді, Кейтлін, будь ласка, floor is yours.
Thank you very much. So I'll start by talking about the first breakout group, which was on the subject of a victim assistance service directory. We started by looking to the future. So what do we see? What do we envision? Why do we want to have a victim assistance service directory? Some of the things that came out of this discussion is that there's low awareness of services among persons in need and persons with disabilities, that there should be consideration of accessibility aspects to the platform, not just accessibility of the services, but also how people are accessing information about those services and reaching to receive those services. We talked about the need for a platform that is localized and also integrated with other referral pathways and platforms, and that is simple and easy to use. After that, having looked at the future, we looked at the current state to understand what existing efforts are underway. We had presentations from different actors about their service mapping activities, challenges they face. One of the main presentations was from the protection cluster about the Services Advisor platform, so that we can make sure that anything developed for victim assistance does not duplicate, but is integrated with their efforts. Comparing the vision to where we are now, we had a look at what are the gaps, what is still needed to get us to there. So a lot of different things came out on this. I won't go into all of the details, but I'm sure we'll be preparing notes on it, because essentially the final question was, what can your organization do to address these gaps and get us to the final state? So we did a short survey online on that. It was an individual exercise. 7 people have responded. I'm putting everyone else on the spot. Reply if you were in the breakout room. But I will summarize those that did so far. So some of the ways that organizations can contribute is by providing information on the services that they offer to the directory, including ensuring that that information is accurate, and sharing the results of their organizational service mapping, so the mapping that they do to be part of a common directory. Some organizations said they would be in a position to give advice into what form this directory should take. And finally, in talking about what happens with the directory, there's mention of helping to disseminate it among affected communities and helping to build trust with community members towards those services that are being offered. And last one, and I think this one is quite important because it relates to the topic of ownership. Victim assistance transcends many, many different sectors. And so some organizations said that they would be in a position to advocate with state institutions related to victim assistance responsibilities, including the development of a service directory. So I think these are avenues that we agree can be focused on in the future going forward as we aim to hopefully have a unified service directory cater to the needs of explosive ordnance victims.
Thank you, Caitlin. So maybe there are any questions or comments that you would like to share right now concerning this section number 1, service mapping. Maybe online participants have any comments or questions. Thank you, Caitlin, for this information. And now let us hear about this second section here. Yeah, thank you. So as you can see, there is some brief summary of our ideas that we have exchanged. I believe we have laid the important foundation of what needs to be done. We started from the current attitudes people have towards trauma and what communication challenges are there in the society. And here are the things that we could contribute with in the field. communication-wise, what are the mental situations people find themselves in. And finally, we had a very important idea of turning compassion into inspiration. So this is something that we find very encouraging, and then we discussed the target audiences and how we can be more effective with each of the target groups. Of course, we have to target our messages, and we also can expect them to behave slightly differently. And in terms of professional activities, we discussed how we could engage the government, because they are quite a strong channel, and they, of course, need to be very actively engaged. And then we discussed the general mapping of the situation and the awareness, which Caitlin has also mentioned. We need to build awareness first and gradually proceed with the deeper changes in the society. And also, we have discussed in brief the expectations from the first stage of the communication campaign intended to raise awareness. And so how do we understand that the campaign is effective? And so this was the final part of our discussion. Yeah, thank you. So are there any comments or questions concerning the mass media campaign? Anything from our online participants? In case there are no questions, everything is great, and I like the transparency and understanding. Thank you so much for your work. Thank you all the participants who were present here with us in person. I'm also grateful to all of those who were with us online, and thank you for those who were active. Thank you for those who have presented some activities for all of us. This has been our third meeting of this type, the third meeting supported by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs of Netherlands. So we are very grateful to them for this. And finally, I would like to share a few slides about our TOR, where we are now, what has been completed. And as I have mentioned in the beginning of our roundtable, we are working gradually, step by step, addressing certain elements of the action plan, certain subjects. So we have developed already some platform for cooperation. We have addressed a couple of issues about inclusion, about financial aid, about some other aspects as well. We also addressed some important subjects about rights advocacy and mass media campaign. So this is something new for us, and this is quite a sensitive issue. So we are approaching it, keeping in mind the experience of the previous campaigns and activities. We want our future campaigns to be as effective as possible, and also this has to do with our service directory. As we have discussed at the working group, we have some aspects of this directory developed already, but still, it would take a long way to make this directory available and usable in the field. So I would like to encourage you to cooperate more actively, not only at the roundtables, but between them as well, because this is a good platform to discuss certain issues, but the bulk of what we're doing is happening between the meetings, is happening in the field. So if you have any ideas, any initiatives that have to do with our action plan, please be proactive. We are open for any communication and innovative approaches. We highly appreciate this, and it's great that we had this opportunity for discussion today. We are planning to keep having these meetings. Maybe the next one is gonna happen in the fall, so we will be um, keeping you updated about our future plans. I'm very grateful to HI and Caitlin for her contribution as the discussion facilitator, and also I congratulate others for this cooperation we are having, and together we are able to do this very important things. The actions that are going to change the approaches that are going to change the situation of the victims of explosives and unexploded remnants of war. So I truly hope that this information was useful to you, and this meeting was useful as well. If you have any comments or questions, please share them right now. Otherwise, using this opportunity, I like to mention that we're also available on Facebook if you get any questions later. Yeah, and also all the information that we have shared here will be available in the handouts materials, and we will collect some feedback from you later, because the information we collect from you is later used for the mapping of our activities. And so we want to create some really useful documents as a result of these meetings. So I encourage you once again to take part in this feedback exchange. Thank you so much for finding opportunity to join us for this event. So in case you have no further questions, thank you so much once again for this opportunity of meeting. And so we are finishing now within the timing.